Hey everyone, it's Andy from Snow Camps Europe, and in this video we are looking at what you should be doing with your boots at the end of the season. Now your season probably ended a few weeks before mine did. I've literally been off snow for about 5 or 6 days and all my kit is been checked, washed and put away, and I've just got my boots to finally sort out. So I'm going to run through a few things that you should be looking at with your boots before storing them for the summer months, and also we're going to talk a little bit about storage. So firstly, you want to be doing a visual check of your boot shells. Okay, so things that you want to be looking at are the toe piece and the heel piece. Now, as you can see on this heel piece, that race plate there has a worn down to the shell. So instantly I know that I need to get this replaced. If I look at the toe piece, you can also see there as well that that has worn down. It's not fully gone, but it is quite dangerous if the sole of your boot is worn away because of the way it interfaces with the ski binding. So check the sole of your boot, check the heel, check the toe. If there is any wear, then you need to get that addressed. Okay, then I do a visual check of the shell of the boot, make sure that everything is still there. My canting screw or bolt is there. The 2 bolts at the back are there. Do a visual check of the strap. Make sure that that's not frayed or going to break. Basically, I want to get anything that needs doing done now while the shops are quiet. Okay, then I just check my buckles. So this one is pretty loose. That needs to be tightened. That one is extremely loose, so that's going to need to be tightened. And then the bottom 2, they are both fine. So I now know I've got to get my race plates on the bottom of my boot replaced. I need to tighten these 2 screws. Everything else on this boot looks fine. And then I do a quick shell check of the other boot. So the same things. Again, you can see that my heel piece there is worn down. My toe piece is pretty worn down. Other than that, the exterior of the boot looks fine. Obviously, there's some cosmetic damage, but nothing that is too alarming. And then again, if I just check that the buckles, that one needs a bit of a tighten. The 2 lower buckles, it's quite tight. This one, that one's okay. And then what you want to be doing with your shells is making sure that you keep them lightly fastened up during the summer. Okay, so that's basically the shell. There's not much really that can go wrong with the shell of a boot, but very important the toe and the heel, that they are not worn down too much, because that will change the way they interact with the ski and the binding. Okay, then the inners. Now my inners come out of the boot with my foot. Okay, so there's one inner and there's the other inner. So because it's a race boot, you put your foot in the inner and then your foot and inner go into the boot. Most of you will have boots where the inner stays in and only your foot comes out. So you will have to remove the inner. Once you've removed the inner, just check inside the boot that there's no water that is still there, because you want to dry that out if it is. But once you've got your inner out, obviously again, visual check. So I am looking around the base of the inner to check it's okay. And obviously we can see that it's not perfect, okay? Now that's just a bit of glue. We can glue that up, tape that up. That's gonna go for a bit longer. These have actually done 2.5 seasons, okay? There's a little bit of wear there from where it goes in and out of the boot, just a bit of rubbing. And also, as you can see, my lace broke literally 1 week before the end of the season. So for my left foot inner, I need to glue this back on. I need a new lace. Other than that, I also want to check my footbed. Now this one might surprise you. I think that has seen better days. That's actually been like that most of the season. I have to say these boots have been the most comfortable they've been in 2.5 seasons this winter. Maybe down to that footbed. I don't know. But that obviously is not ideal, so that needs changing. Other than that, inside, other than having some what we refer to as beagle glitter stuck to the inside of my tongue, which is inevitable when you have a beagle, that is that one. So got to repair this. I need a new lace. and I need a new footbed. On the second one, again, you're just checking around the toe box, make sure it's all intact. Some of these are stitched, some of these are glues. This one is a glued one. Again, I could do with a bit of glue under here. Got that same wear and tear just there from where the boot's gone in and out. Other than that, everything else seems to be intact. Lace is good. The chances are if one lace is broken, the other one is going to break soon enough because they've been used for the same amount of time. So I will replace both laces. And then if I look at this, okay, this footbed isn't as bad. There's a little bit of misshaping, but that's actually okay. That's still doing quite a good job. But if I'm replacing one, it's probably best to replace the others. And again, just inside, there is some beagle glitter, which I'm never going to get rid of until I get a new pair of boots and don't have a beagle. So that is my inner. So how should you be storing your boots during the summer? Okay, so first, do your checks. I advise you go and get anything that needs doing done now while the shops are closed, because if you think about pulling your boots out after summer storage and decide to go to the ski shop in October, November, December, they're going to be busy. They're going to be busy with ski servicing and other repairs. So get your stuff to the shop now if they need any work. Then, if you have got a boot where the inner stays in the boot, then you want to get that inner back in, and then you want to fasten the boots up, lightly fasten them up to keep the shape of the shell in the inner, and then you want to store them somewhere that is not going to have a massive fluctuating heat. So do not put them in the loft. Depending on if you have a garage and how warm and how cold that garage fluctuates during the winter, be careful if you keep them in the garage. The other thing is, in garages, you may find the odd mouse, and you don't want a mouse munching through your inner. So the best place to keep your boots is going to be somewhere dark. The wardrobe is a good place because your wardrobe is normally relatively controlled temperature. It's not crazy high, crazy low, crazy high, crazy low like it would be in the loft. So bottom of your wardrobe in the dark, or in the understairs cupboard in your house, if you have stairs and an understairs cupboard, are the two best places to store your boots over the summer months. So say, stay away from garages with fluctuating temperature and maybe rodents, and stay away from the loft. The problem is, because we get the intense heat in the loft and then it gets cold and then it gets hot and then it gets cold, the plastic reacts, and there is a chance that you'll put your boot on next season, halfway down a run, it could literally break into pieces because the plastic has been basically affected by the fluctuation in heat. I once had a pair that I left in a cupboard next to a condensing tumble dryer, and I hadn't worn the boots for a year or two because I wasn't skiing at the time, and I went to a dry ski slope, put the boots on, went up, did one turn, and the ski carried on, and basically the boot cracked just above where the binding, the toe piece and the heel piece is, and everything below my foot stayed with the ski and the rest was on my foot. The whole boot on one all the way around had cracked and the base of the boot came off. So be very, very careful where you store your boots, folks. I say, if you've got any work to be done, get that done now. Pay close attention to your heel and toe piece. A lot of boots now have got removable heel and toe pieces. If you've got a grip walk boot, that can probably also be easily changed. These are slightly different in that they don't have anything until we put the race plates on. So I need to get the race plates changed over before the start of the season. And then they will check the thickness of the toe and the heel piece just to make sure they are still within the norm that is required for the bindings. There you go, folks. Hopefully you've found that of a little bit of use. If you've already popped your boots away without doing this, grab them out, give them a check, pop them back in a bag, stick them in your wardrobe, and you're going to be good to go next year. But if you do need any repairs, get them done now. It's Andy for Snow Camp Europe saying, if you like that, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Lots more to come over the summer months, and we will catch you very, very soon. Bye for now.